What you counting from? We haven't even started yet.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Karen and Maya. I'm Maya.
And I'm Karen.
And today,
we're talking about all things on the menu for Thanksgiving. Listen, I'm very nosy when it comes to what people are cooking in their kitchen. And with the holidays coming up, it's no different. Actually, it's at a heightened level. One thing that I find very interesting, if you've ever listened to NPR, there's a show on there called The Splendid Table. And it happens once a week, but during the holidays, they'll have a special show that, and if you hear that noise, our neighbor is using their leaf blower, so bear with us. But when the holidays are coming up, they normally have a special Splendid Table. It's very interesting to listen to. I listen to it on my way, going places and whatnot, the Splendid Table that is. But sometimes it has me cracking up at some of the suggestions. So let me know if any of you have ever listened to the Splendid Table. And also, not everybody celebrates Thanksgiving. Let's be aware of that. But even if you don't, I want you to feel included in this conversation and to let us know what you are also cooking next Thursday. What's on the menu. But for this particular time, we are going to be talking about all the things that normally are associated with Thanksgiving meals. So let's get into it. So on the Splendid Table, Maya is the queen. I'll include you in the conversation. So Maya is the queen of cooking shows.
I only watch cooking shows during this time of the year. I think it's because they kind of all talk about the same thing during the rest of the year. Like, you can only talk about certain things. You can only talk about cupcakes. You can only talk about cake. But this time of the year is usually a competition.
Yes.
And I prefer competitions over just cooking shows because I have, worked it down in my head to know who's winning at the end, and you would think that would take the joy out of watching it, but it doesn't, because I like proving, I picked it, that person won, and I was right. And so I also watch it so that I can take recipes that people are using for Thanksgiving from it, and then I show them to Mom, and she's absolutely just she adores every last random recipe that I come up with.
What?
And she definitely allows me to just add them to the menu. It is so nice of her.
Okay. We'll discuss that in a minute. Maya's love affair with mashed potatoes.
No,
and
that
making
is not what I was
mashed potatoes from. I have no problem making mashed potatoes from scratch because they're so easy. However, Maya just takes it to a whole different level on Thanksgiving. I have no reason. I have no clue as to why she does this. Literally, I'm just you boil them, mash them, put your stuff in it, and you're done. So I would leave it to the last.
If you kind of want, subpar mashed potatoes.
Subpar?
You gotta get them good.
No.
It takes some time.
Subpar. Okay, so one thing that I want to get, so the Hubster and I, we were watching this cooking show that was about Thanksgiving last week, and we're going to start from the most minutia item on the table to the main dish. Okay, so we're going to start with stuffed eggs.
Are you going to tell them what the show was called?
I don't even remember what the show was called.
That's horrible.
What was the show called?
Was it the 5,000 one?
Yeah, they get a $5,000 gift card. It's on Amazon. Production. Okay.
Bennett.
Your name's Bennett and you're not in it. Okay. Anyway, whatever this show was called, it was either on Amazon. Yeah, I think it was on Amazon. And because I know it wasn't on the other one. Anyway, I think I forgot her name. She hosted. There's another lady who hosted. Anyway, on there, we're gonna start with stuffed eggs first. Now, everybody has their way of making stuffed
I
eggs.
can't find it. Okay.
Everybody has their own way of making stuffed eggs.
No, they don't.
Tell me if you have what is your way of making stuffed eggs?
No, they don't.
Let us know in the comments. If
No, they
you stuffed eggs are the production, we just see things on there. We don't see your time. Oh, okay, got it. But let us know if stuffed eggs is a must-do situation on your table, because apparently it is at ours.
No.
Even the years I tried to get rid of them, even the years I tried to bypass them, they still want them.
No. Okay, I have something to add to that, because she just said something that was not true. I will be the first to admit I am a hater. She said people have different ways of making deviled eggs. There is only one way to make
She's
deviled
a very
eggs.
listen.
The rest of the ways,
listen.
that is a deviled egg.
Okay,
That's something else.
listen. Let's get into it, because I'm not even going to name the show. I'm glad I can't
I'm a
remember
hater.
it. Okay, when it comes to stuffed eggs, I'm a traditionalist. Okay, they need to have the basics down. So you take out the cooked egg yolk. You're going to mix that with a little mayo. You're going to mix that with a little salt, some
Did you forget one of those?
salt, pepper, and you're going to, don't look at me like that, relish. You're going to have a little mustard.
Thank you. Okay.
You're going to have a little mustard in there, right? And then you're going to top it with you're going to mix that all together till you have a nice, like, rich paste. You put that back into the egg, and then you top it with some smoked paprika. Right? I am a traditionalist.
The only thing that you can add to it is when it's on your plate.
When it's on your plate.
And if you're mixing it with, like, you get some and you eat some macaroni, same bite, you can do that.
You can do that on your plate.
And you can add some hot sauce to it on your plate.
On your plate.
But when it serves to the group,
everybody,
it has these essential
things. Now, on this cooking show that we saw, a lady did her own twist. So she in production can correct me if I'm wrong, but the person used the mayo. They used they didn't use mustard. They used the mayo, and they used a little bit of sweet pickle, but then they added caviar. Yes, thank you. I was correct. And I was like,
she didn't make deviled eggs, guys. She made caviar eggs.
She made
just take the words apart.
Listen. So that was not the same thing. And but it was very unique. I'm not gonna say that I didn't think it looked good. I mean, it was very interesting. Oh, production said it didn't look good. But it was very creative. Let us know what you think in the comments below. So she completely changed it up and made it her own. I mean, if you're on a cooking show, I can see where that works, because really, would you come up with the traditional one? I don't know. But anyway, on the one on the Splendid table, they were suggesting, let me know, do you add crab meat to yours?
I'm a hater, I'm just saying.
Okay, because for the one on the Splendid table, for their stuffed eggs, they put crab meat inside of it, along with the egg, the cooked egg yolk, the mustard, the mayo, the pickle relish, and all that. They add crab meat.
Did they live near the water?
On the Splendid table, I couldn't tell, because I was like,
my thing is, I am a hater and I like things the way that they should be. But if you live in a place where that is a common ingredient,
or you're near the water,
then I get it.
I get it.
If you live in a landlocked state, I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, but let us know what you think in the comments below. Stuffed eggs, I mean, it's on the table. So
There's another guy. Do you guys make your cranberry sauce by homemade?
Listen.
Or do you buy it in a can?
I was going there. You know what? Great minds think alike. Because the next thing I was going to try and get rid of was cranberry sauce.
Except she did get rid of it. She did. And I have now learned, if you want to make cranberry sauce homemade that looks like it came out of the can, you're not making cranberry sauce. Don't look up that recipe. Look up cranberry jelly.
Yes.
Then it will just look up cranberry jelly on Google Images. It looks just the same, and it tastes better.
Listen. So up until the time, because yeah, when it comes to certain things, I'm like, let's just keep it the same. But I was so tired of cranberry sauce, so I was deliberately leaving it out at the grocery store because first
Wait,
off,
Mom, you forgot that.
no, I didn't.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I did.
man.
Thanks for reminding me. No, not thanks. You shouldn't have. Anyway, but Home Slice here started making it herself. And I would have to say, it was really good. At first I was like, please don't mess this up. Please don't make this be another field
I'm
trip.
not gonna lie to you guys. It wasn't like, I don't know how long it takes to make cranberry sauce, like the ones that I see on the thing. Maybe it just takes a short amount of time. To make the cranberry jelly, it takes more time than opening a can and dumping
Oh yeah, most definitely.
It takes about 30 minutes.
I think she was in there for about 30, 40
and
minutes
the only
making
reason it works is because cranberry naturally contains pectin, and pectin is literally what makes jelly. But if you try to do it with any other fruit, it will not work.
But it was really good. I mean, I prefer homemade. And she did it last year.
She likes the homemade jelly. We do not like homemade cranberries.
No, not with cranberry pieces. No, none of that. No. But if you make it, I'm sure it's delicious. It's wonderful. I just personally don't like all the little pieces of things in things. So she made cranberry jelly.
And if anyone wants a video, because Mom keeps preventing me from putting it out, but if anyone wants a video on how to do it, ignore whatever facial expression she's making right now. I will do the video, but I need at least 2 people to say, yeah, we want to see this video, because she keeps taking it out of the
lineup. Okay, so the next up is dressing. Okay, do you all say dressing or stuffing? Dressing or stuffing? Over here we call it dressing.
Can I answer that question? Can I answer? Okay, so for a very long time, because we call it dressing, I didn't know that stuffing and dressing were the same thing.
Yes.
I thought they were 2 separate dishes.
Yes.
And so when I was looking up, I think I was like 14 or so, I was looking up lists on Google on what you want for Thanksgiving, and I saw stuffing, and I was like, Mom, can we do stuffing? And she was like, we're doing dressing. And I was like, no, stuffing.
I was like, girl, it's the same thing. What are you saying?
I didn't realize, because we were vegetarian, fully vegetarian at the time. So rude. And so sorry, production is acting up.
Production's acting up.
And so we were vegetarian, so we didn't have like the turkey or the chicken or whatever.
Well, I would make it for people who would come over.
But like, I didn't realize that the dressing was the thing that was being stuffed inside the turkey.
But even still, when I was growing up, I didn't understand the whole thing with stovetop stuffing. I didn't understand what that was. And then if you go into like places like Whole Foods or like some major grocery chains, around this time of the year, they have bags filled with bread, like the cast off ends of the bread, or so that people can use it for breaded stuffing. Speaking of of dressing or stuffing, are you all a cornbread dressing, stuffing, or a bread stuffing or dressing? In this house, we're cornbread dressing. If you're new to cooking stuffing and corn or dressing, there's 2 things you can use as your median.
You also make the cornbread from homemade.
Yeah, and I make the cornbread from homemade. Sometimes, you can use like the little packets as well. But I just make the cornbread and then crumble it up. And so let's go over what's in the dressing. What's mostly the basic of most dressing. Yeah, I mean, everybody has their way of doing it, because I'm from New Orleans, and down there you can get oyster dressing because they're right there by the water, so they're gonna put it in there. You can get crawfish dressing. I mean, you can get a lot of stuff down there.
I feel like dressing is the most forgiving one when you're trying to add your own spin on it.
Yes.
It's the most forgiving.
Yes.
Because you can take stuff out and it'll still, people are gonna just boycott me, but I don't exactly like dressing.
No.
So I'm gonna say it will still be good, but I don't exactly like dressing, but it is very forgiving. So I know Dad is vegan, and so
He loves dressing.
So Mom will take the egg out because she puts boiled.
Okay, so that's why we have to go over. Okay, so growing up, my mom in the dressing would use cornbread, so she would make her own cornbread. She would onions, bell peppers. You're gonna have your. At that time, she used chicken stock. You're gonna use your garlic, your celery. She will put in some chicken that she already cooked, and then she would add boiled eggs to it, chopped, and sage, and then you're gonna mix all of that together. It's not supposed to be soupy. It's supposed to be like a not a pancake consistency either, but it's supposed to be thick and hold together. And so that's was what I grew up with. And not only wait, let me just say this. Oh, and she used to use cream of mushroom soup.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it's mushroom in some
cream
aspects.
of mushroom soup in there. Now I've altered it because I make my own. I do the cornbread myself, my own stock, my own like soup, creamy soup sort of mixture that I make to put in, and then same onions, bell peppers, garlic, celery, and like I'll add a vegetarian sausage to it.
And I have to say that just the amazing thing about my mom is none of this, and I do mean none of this, is in a recipe book. So if you try to take a recipe and make it for your friends or something, well, you're gonna need the real person.
Yeah, you need salt, you need pepper, you need some sage, and I like fresh sage.
And then you'll be making it because you're like, I want to take this burden away from Mom, and then you're like, does this go in there? Like, oh yeah, I forgot. You're also supposed to add some pepper. And you're like, right.
That's true. I mean,
and
that's
her
true.
mom did the same thing to her, so you would think
it's a rite of passage. It's a rite of passage, right?
And she can't do recipe book because she is part of the generation that pours.
No, we are led by the Spirit.
I am half and half. I do measuring when I don't know what I'm doing, and I do pouring when I do. Yeah. So I get it.
But
I think the generation after me is going to be all measuring cups.
It's as you go, you just led. You're like, oh, it's instinctive. Oh yeah, you got to put that. And let me taste to see if the salt is in there.
Her recipe wouldn't have measurements. She would just have ingredients.
Okay. Next up on the menu is a pot full of greens. Now, in my family, what I grew up with was my mom, because collard greens are kind of bitter by themselves. Or no, mustard greens are bitter. So what she would do is mix collard, turnip, and mustard greens together. And
isn't mustard greens like really small greens?
No, I have them in the backyard. This year, thanks to the garden, we're gonna have mustard greens, kale, and some collard greens.
And I bet no one will know which one's which.
No one, except for me. I can tell the difference now.
No, when they're fully cooked is when
once they're fully cooked, you won't know what's happening. And if you are in some area where you can get to a farmer's market, please support your local farmers market. We'll even be out at our farmers market on tomorrow. And we know that the farmers work really hard. So if you're still out there trying to get your stuff, just go there because
you also will know exactly where
it came from and what you're getting. That's just a shout out to all of our farmers and people out there still working at the farmers market and getting their vegetables out there. But yeah.
Do you guys add the ham hock, or do you guys do like was it chicken?
Now see, in our home, growing up, we didn't eat pork, and we still don't eat pork. And
you said that was changing.
like it was changing. But growing up, my mom used to put in a turkey leg, a big turkey leg. And up until last week, I did not know what a turkey leg looked like. And now that I've seen it, I'm like, whoa, that thing is big. Because at the farmer's market, they had the turkeys out there, and then they had turkeys for sale, and then they had the turkey legs broken down. So I was like, literally.
Which farmer's market?
I'm talking about in farmers markets all over. Just go to your farmers markets if it's open. Support them today, tomorrow, right before, because there's a lot of them that are open year round. Just support your local farmers market. But they had the chicken leg and the turkey leg, and it's like this big. So it was really cool to see. But my mom in the green, she used to put onions, obviously, some red peppers most of the time, and then she would put in that turkey leg in order to give it that seasoning, that sort of brothy feel, and then she would add her broth to it and then cook her greens down. So, I still follow that similar formula minus the turkey leg. Yeah.
Um,
We're leading up, we're getting to the big sides.
We're getting to the big sides. But pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie?
Ooh. Oh my goodness, guys. Which one is it? Which one is it? Sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie? Leave that in the comments below.
We are sweet potato pie.
We are sweet potato pie family.
I don't think I actually have ever had pumpkin pie.
No.
Or I think I did. We went to another family's house for Thanksgiving and they had pumpkin pie.
They had pumpkin pie.
And I was like, oh, this is pretty good, I guess. And I said, this sweet potato pie is pretty good. And they were like, oh, that's
pumpkin pie.
And I was like,
what? But,
I changed my mind. I'm kidding.
But I do cook with pumpkin. I just break it down and cook with it and everything. Production is just really tearing it up back there. Listen, production.
Yes, production, yes.
You're about to get fired today. But yeah, so I'll cook with the pumpkin and break it down, like make pumpkin bread sometimes. But for the most part, I think sweet potatoes are just easier to work with because you don't have to worry about scraping the insides and what have you.
I do like the flavor of the sweet potato.
I like the flavor of the sweet potato as well.
We do, when we do put our pumpkins on the porch and stuff, and they're still good when we bring them in. She does make like pumpkin bread, so I do know what pumpkin tastes like in things. It's just the pie is usually.
Yeah, we are a sweet potato pie family, even though I don't really like pie. But yeah.
She likes crust.
I like the crust.
Oh, there's another one. Green bean casserole. Anyone? Okay, and then there is, I think her face answered it. Do you call them candied yams or do you call them candied sweet potatoes?
Candied yams or candied sweet potatoes?
Because yams is a completely other.
We have learned yams are totally different than what we actually think they are. They actually look like they're brown and they don't look like a sweet potato at all.
So I don't know who misnamed it, but they're misnamed.
So we are having candied sweet potatoes. If you do that, no, I don't really do them.
She doesn't. I have had them at other people's houses, and they are pretty good. But
because my thing is, you're gonna have sweet potato pie, so I don't see the. And then it's sweet too.
But sometimes people aren't putting it in the dessert section. They're adding it to the table.
No. I'm saying you have the candied sweet potatoes at the table
with the dinner.
With the dinner, right? But then my thing is like you're also having sweet potato pie. So for me, it's like, what am I doing? But I get it. I get it.
That's
right?
one that I asked.
Okay, now down to the wire. Mashed potatoes or macaroni and cheese?
No, these are not the same thing. You can do mashed potatoes and
some
macaroni
people do
and cheese.
not do macaroni and cheese. Some people do not do macaroni and cheese, and others don't do mashed potatoes.
Okay, but some people do
we
both.
Don't. I mean, okay.
We do both. Because we didn't always do both, but in 2016, I found this recipe to make the best mashed potatoes ever, and though she will protest to the day that we both are gone, she likes the mashed potatoes that I make.
But see, mashed potatoes don't last very long. That's the only problem.
Leftovers.
Yeah, mashed potatoes don't last very long.
They don't last long because people devour the ones that I make, and also I have cornerstoned them. No one else will make them, and it is probably because no one else actually likes them, but not likes the taste of them. They just don't want to put them a part of Thanksgiving. But I have insisted that they go there, and it's because we only have there's only a certain amount of green dishes like the collards, and so I wanted to add more like vegetable based dishes to the table.
Well,
and they were like, no, we can't make that. And so I decided to find other things that people have for Thanksgiving.
I'll just say, well, okay. So when we were living in Germany, I would go. There was a farmer who lived outside of the military base. Like, you could ride your bicycle there, and it was my first time ever having Brussels sprouts. Seeing Brussels sprouts, how they were grown on this huge thing, and she would have them, sitting up, and there were these big, giant, like, you could. Somebody with a Brussels sprout, they're like that big, and so she would have the huge. If you have never seen Brussels sprouts in the Sprouts, go to Sprouts. Go to your farmer's market, because they don't pick it. They don't pick the Brussels sprouts off. They leave the whole Brussels sprout stalk.
And
it's
on
so cool.
Several occasions, have looked at a thing and wondered if we could eat it too. I'm pretty sure
you
it's
can.
edible.
It just gets hard
as a brick. And
yeah,
if
the
you
stalk.
Try to cut it at the knife, it's not coming apart.
The stalk is hard, but
it literally
you just
is what the Brussels sprouts are growing off.
You just clip all the Brussels sprouts off. And I said all that to say, when I was a kid and we went to visit my grandmother one time, she was eating what looked like little cabbages, and I liked cabbages. And I liked cabbage at that time. And and I was like, oh, Grandma, what's that? And she was like, I was like, is that cabbage? And she told me yes. And then she gave me one of those Brussels sprouts, and I just didn't like it. I did not like it. Never since then, I stayed away from them until we went over to Germany, and then the lady there we were able to communicate, and she was explaining to me how to go home and cook them. Once I learned how to cook the Brussels sprouts, and that it wasn't just a little cabbage.
They are part of the cabbage.
They're part of the cabbage family. So they're part of the brassica family if you like to garden. And they're easy to grow, by the way. So anyway, Brussels sprouts, during the holidays, during this time of year, I actually, instead of roasting them, I like to boil them. Just a little bit. Boil them for like 15 minutes, just so I cut them in half and boil them just till they're soft. And then you add, what? Are you having
no, because up until I started boiling them, Mom cut them in half and roasted them in the oven.
But during
with
the
some
holiday,
salt and I think some bagel seasoning or something. And then I was like, oh, okay, so Madison actually came next. She started making hollandaise sauce. And I don't know how to make hollandaise sauce, but she did. So
do you all serve your Brussels sprouts with hollandaise sauce?
So she boiled them to put hollandaise sauce. And then the next year she was like, oh, I don't feel like doing it, which is fair. And so I was like, oh, if I boil them, then I can make
just
my
a
own
little
sauce.
bit.
And so I'm boiling them so you can put like a fork through it. That is the end of the boiling process. Any further and
then it's just mush.
But she did not come up with the boiling method. She roasted. Which
but
was still
listen,
good.
guys, it's so good.
She only stopped because I can't eat roasted food.
Right. She can eat roasted food, but it can't be like a hard sort of roasted sort of thing. But the Brussels sprouts, if you just boil them till like a little bit past al dente, to where your fork can go through, like just your fork can go into it and pick it up, right? And it's soft. Then you can add your butter, your margarine, some salt, some pepper. Oh, it's so good. You can
control the levels more than with the hollandaise sauce.
It is so delicious. And also you don't need all of the sauce, because especially if you're serving it at Thanksgiving, you got all this other food going on.
Also,
it's slides in very easy.
The water until it tastes like the ocean, then you don't have to put salt on it on the other side. You just add your butter and you're good. But if you do salt after, then you can mess up the salt level somewhat.
Yeah. And macaroni and cheese. Like, how many of you all have to have macaroni and cheese during Thanksgiving as well? And ours is just a basic. We try to put in like 5 different types of cheeses in there. And if you're looking to just make a macaroni and cheese, we have a video for that, but I'll just give you like just a quick rundown if it's your first time cooking for something for Thanksgiving.
You can also check out Stovetop Kisses.
Oh, check out Stovetop Kisses. She has some great macaroni and cheese recipes, but basically you're going to boil your noodles, your elbow noodles. You're going to, and it's Thanksgiving, so you should use elbow noodles and not like, don't, it's, I always say if you're doing it for the first time, just try to stick with the ingredients. Don't try anything new during the holidays.
You can try like smaller noodles.
Yeah,
just
stick
macaroni.
to just macaroni.
Don't do what we did one year. One year we literally sat back and went, we don't feel like making anything. And so one of my siblings decided, well, we don't have elbow noodles, so we're going to use, and we almost got canceled for this. She used spaghetti noodles. It was like, I never knew the importance of why you don't do that until I
But some people do use spaghetti noodles for macaroni and cheese. And if you do, that is your business, in the words of Tabitha Brown.
That's a different dish.
That
well, technically it is, because it's called macaroni and cheese. That's spaghetti and cheese.
Production is just off the chain today. Stop it. Okay. Okay, macaroni and cheese. Your basic instructions: you're gonna boil your noodles. Once your noodles are finished, this is Stovetop Kisses gave me a heads up in this area. To keep those noodles from sticking together, you add a little bit of sour cream. And she said that's her mama's recipe, so don't come for her. You're gonna add salt, pepper, butter to that, a little bit of smoked paprika to that, and then you're gonna add your egg milk mixture, 2 eggs normally, with a little bit of salt and pepper in that, and the milk to that. You're going to mix that, whisk that together, add that in, and then to that you're going to add all of your cheeses, you're going to stick to like some sharp cheddar. You can use, you want your macaroni and cheese to be good, not just like cheesy. So I tried to use a smoked Gouda. There's an applewood cheese that I really like. It's like a smoked applewood cheese, a sharp cheddar, a little softer would be Havarti. And just whatever, you find. Because I don't want just cheese.
She want to have one cheese. She wants balance
and flavor. Flavor, not just like eating a mass of something. And I don't like it to be a brick.
Like for instance, I strongly dislike, because I've been told to stop using the word hate, but I strongly dislike, it's a cheese that comes, it mixes into cheese, it starts with an A. It's like, the cheese I don't like in the white bag that you buy from churches.
Oh, Assaggio.
Yeah,
Parmesan.
I really dislike it. I dislike it. What are you saying?
You have to use that just a little bit.
But I'm saying, I have learned that it adds a height to it. But I will never eat that by itself.
You hand grating the Parmesan, not just the Parmesan from the store. It makes a huge difference when you grate it yourself. It
helps balance out like the creaminess.
And it's stronger. It's a little bit stronger.
You don't need very much of it to make the final.
No.
The final.
No.
There was another.
And then last but not least.
Wait, there was something else. I lost it. No, wait.
Last but not least, we are at the finale dish, which is, are you doing a turkey? Like this year, I think Madison and her friends are doing a Friendsgiving, and so they're doing Cornish hens. So Cornish hens are like the little small ones that are really cute and whatnot. So are you doing Cornish hens? Are you doing a turkey? Are you doing chicken? Maya always does a vegetarian dish. Yes.
I'm not a meat eater. The Cornish hens have nothing to do with apple corn, correct?
No. No, they're like tiny. It's like a miniature chicken for each person.
Oh, my word. Can't see. Okay.
Uh-oh. They're like a miniature,
So it's like a nickname.
No, they're just really small.
The hens eat corn. That's what Cornish is.
Production.
That might be true. So we'll look it up after. But yeah, I do a vegetarian meat part,
Mhm.
and then mom eats meat during the holidays, so she usually does chicken, right?
Mhm.
Because chicken
But
for
this,
one
but this
person.
year at the little chicken for one person. But I'm going to support my local farmers, and they had turkey legs out there, so I might just get one of those for that. But let us know what you all think in the comments below. This has been pretty fun. I'm preparing myself for everybody going at it. This will be fun. I'm really interested
Like
in seeing this,
some
in
tips.
reading.
Some tips, because we went to the
Oh,
grocery store.
let's do some tips before we
We
go.
went to the grocery store the other day. We were not getting it for this. We were getting something for the farmers market, and I literally forgot. I didn't forget that Thanksgiving was coming. I forgot that people shop for it early.
Yeah.
And so some tips getting in and out of the store.
Well, here's some tips first.
I'm
gonna cut you off. Some tips. If you're new to cooking a turkey, if you're new to cooking a turkey, make sure that you thaw that thing out. When you buy it, like right now, you need to put it in your refrigerator, not your freezer.
Wait, right
so that
now?
So it can be completely thawed.
But Thanksgiving is on
Or you put it
Thursday.
in there on Monday.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, because you want it to be completely thawed out. I'm saying this for, some of my adult children will be cooking for the first time this year, and so I'm excited for them, but I don't want anybody to get sick.
You should also allot time for the stuff that's supposed to go in the oven. And do not forget, this is an option. You do not have to make every last dish on Thanksgiving. You can start the night before.
You can start the night. You can start
Especially
days
if
before.
you need stuff that's like a domino effect. Like I know from mom's dressing, she makes it by hand, so she makes the cornbread the night before, so she can put it all together.
Sometimes I do, I'll make it the 2 days before and just take all the cornbread, put it into Ziploc bags, and put it into the freezer. And then I'm ready to go. All I have to do is mix everything.
Oh, and this is really important, and it'll probably be the last one before I get cut off. Buy dishes, they're Tupperware, because when you have all the food laid out, it's really delicious. You all go into a food coma, and then you're stuck with all this food. And if you don't have containers, then you will try some very inventive ways to try to keep all of that stuff contained in your small little containers.
Well, I like Ziploc bags when you're trying to because when it comes to the freezer, you can stack them or what have you. My last tip would be to enjoy the day and enjoy the time that you have with one another, so that you're not like overdoing stuff, and then make sure that you have everything that you need. That actually wasn't my tip, but I can't think of it because I lost track of it. Here's my tip. Clean as you go. It makes a huge difference. Clean as you go, rather than cooking up a storm and then you got to clean up all that stuff.
Because you'll be really tired of cooking all day.
And this, and if you've been cooking all day and then everybody eats the food and then backs away from the table and then...
Or, this is something we do.
Clean as you go.
Allot the people that are not cooking to clean as you go.
Yes!
Because
make people your sous chef.
Everyone that is planning to eat the food should have a role.
Yeah, yes. I taught her well. And on that note, you guys, we hope you enjoyed this. We will see you guys in the next one. Bye!